Whoa, this is Interstellar Radio. We're
Hello.
back. Whoa, this is March 29th, 2020 quarantine episode. Well, retro greetings. Doing
Hello. How's it going?
doing okay with your energy and your quarantine?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Making the best of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michigan's
So
getting hit pretty hard.
yeah, yeah. Ford is right behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah, right at you. So we wanted. Oh, if you want to go into the what the current virus quarantine situation. I don't know,
Mhm.
like when it will stop or end, or what do you feel? I don't know.
Well, here's the funny thing: is you and I have both been thinking the quarantine situation will end about mid April, right?
Something like
Or
that.
somewhere in mid April, mid late April, And then right after that, we'd heard that there's news articles, about how Trump is saying Easter is the end date
Yeah.
because of the beautiful time.
Yep. Exactly. I thought it was kind of interesting.
Um, that kind of clues into like how much Trump may know, at least subconsciously. A beautiful time, what does it mean? Oh, it's beautiful weather, of course. It could also mean part of the shift.
Yeah.
See the question, maybe it's a shift in the seasons, but also the virus is causing a shift in people. So it
Well.
could
Yeah.
be a beautiful time, people coming into, they're interacting with their families more, if they're together, um, connecting with people, but individually on different levels. People in quarantine, they have to entertain each other somehow. So
Yeah. Well, don't forget you mentioned that the year begins in March.
yeah, it does. Yes, totally. So yes, it's this quarantining is kind of meant to kind of put things on acceleration.
Hmm.
It did, like I said, it did slow down some progress a bit, especially in the alien exposure side, but it's actually grounding it, so to speak. It's making it more the reality.
Hmm.
It's kind of opening up timelines to come easier,
Hmm.
even if it comes a little bit later. Um, One moment. So yes, the new year started in March, energetically speaking. And you see that I think the coronavirus will probably stay around until maybe up to June.
Yeah.
But the
June.
but the fear around it,
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
the current aspect will probably only last until mid-April or up to around Easter, like Trump said.
Hmm.
Um,
So yeah, interjectable, but yeah, there might be like a it might slow down around the mid-April. Doesn't mean we're going to get out of lockdown, but the virus might pull back.
well, I just know there's going to be more consciousness of like washing your hands and such,
Yeah. Hmm.
especially. That's going to last until maybe on washing your hands. I don't think you do that, but like the whole push for it will kind of come around. The It'll come on stronger around the coronavirus, but I'm seeing the quarantine aspect itself will starting to lighten up in mid-April.
And the probably around what June? Yeah, I kept feeling June. That's when a lot of things are going to start to sort of get back
Yeah,
together a little bit. Not everything, but some things.
yeah. Uh, I saw the virus going on maybe even into August to September, but
Yeah. Yep.
only in remote locations, really.
Well, yeah, New York is underwater right now, so that'll probably take all year for that to more than that to heal that.
Right, right.
God, maybe it's a couple years. Jeez.
One moment,
Oh.
sorry. I need to clear my throat.
Yeah.
I've got a little bit something going on too lately, but I don't think it's corona. I think it's just at least.
No, it's not. It's just it's just the energies of people going. I mean, I felt kind of ill before all
Yeah,
this hit. I think it's just the astral energies. It's just the stuff in the air. Just
yeah.
just astral has a lot of problems too, and it comes into our reality. So
hmm
it,
Um,
it all depends on who you're around. I
Funny
think that
thing is, actually, I was sick Sunday, and even into Wednesday I was sick as well. I kind of think I'd be better by now, which I am. But even coming downstairs, I started to feel sick. So I think some entity might have want me to not be channeling. So it's kind of like, I wonder if they're manipulating things, and they can try to feel like I'm sick. But now that I said, okay, maybe they should just kind of bypass it, not allow it to take effect.
well, I think
Uh,
you're. I mean, you're in an area. It feels like a lot of archon energies that you're around.
yeah,
I don't think they're manipulating you. I think they're just draining you.
yeah.
Just because there's something there that you're looking for astrally
In Michigan.
or astrally. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I guess in Michigan. I think it's mostly astral. I don't think it's in Michigan.
Okay.
I think it's in New York actually. Something's there. Some kind of. I mean, it's almost like a bomb hit New York practically. The way things are going, you know. So might as well have the way it's acting. So.
I see New York is kind of like a There's different versions of New York. There's like
Mm-hmm.
thousands and thousands of versions of New York, and New York is kind of like a testing ground.
Mm-hmm.
You hear you don't really New York is a big city, but you don't really hear much what goes on there like you would, let's say, Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
So New York is very populated, but it's also there's a lot of cloistering around it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Unless you really live at like the East Coast, near New York, you don't really feel connected to it as much. It
Well,
doesn't really connect to the rest of the country as much.
the disaster movies. It's always New York is in there somewhere.
Exactly. So New York is kind of like a testing ground.
Yeah, makes
It's
sense.
energetically kind of cloistered to be sort of the staging ground for different ideas in astral.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, it's kind of like an experimentation area for the elite,
Mm-hmm.
especially in astral. It's it carries a lot of energy. It's kind of that's what I think I'm actually investigating right now in astral is like the how New York works energetically, the grid around it. Because New York is kind of a special place in that sense because there's so
Yeah.
many different variations of it. There's many different timelines, and it just set up to be a testing ground of sorts. And that's why I'm investigating and mapping out the energy around New
Yeah.
York.
Yep. And when you go investigate, you get drained easily.
Yeah. Sorry. I got a
So,
lot of like stuff in my throat.
yeah, me too, actually.
I apologize for coughing quite a bit. Or clean up about that. I'm still recovering. So, yes, where were we on? The virus update.
Yeah, just the quarantine. I mean, I think we kind of, I don't know, is any like people want to know when they're going to get out of this probably. So, but yeah, some areas are going to be there for August, September.
Yeah.
New York's going to be there for 2 years. I mean, not quarantine forever, but
I feel like Iran and Afghanistan are going to be hit for quite a while, that kind of area.
yeah, yeah,
But I would say Yemen too, will be hit from it. But Yemen actually kind of needs it. It's kind of asking for it in a sense because
interesting.
it
Hmm.
it's trying to kind of change itself. Um,
Hmm.
like I said,
And,
Yemen is kind of a very grounded and
hmm.
low vibrational area.
Yeah.
So the quarantine layers to kind of lift it a little bit. It's kind of it changing. It alters what it goes through. There's a
Well,
period of this coronavirus, especially these past 2 weeks and in the next month or so, is a very strong transformation period. It carries a lot of heavy relations around it. It slows things down. It has to slow things down to transform it. So again, you're going to see a lot of things that's transforming and changing and shifting, because it's all kind of muddy at this moment. So Yemen needs to be a part of that to relieve some of its anchors.
Well, China doesn't feel like that's going to be getting much better.
China?
China, they're not gonna live this up for a long time. I mean, I think there's more deaths than they are reporting.
I thought I heard that China had not cured it, but stifled it. China is recovering. But yeah, China. Hmm. I'm not getting much information about China right now.
That's all right. That's fine.
Yeah, and then
All right.
like. Yeah.
That's okay. We can move on to next. 10 days of was there
10
anything
days.
else? 10 days of darkness. That means, I guess the QAnon crew saying like on Tuesday we're gonna yeah, I noticed I coughed when you said 10 days of darkness mean all electronics are going to shut down for 10 days worldwide, something like that. That's from QAnon. So whatever you see in that.
I'm not seeing anything particularly plausible about that.
Mm-hmm.
There may be some supercomputers that may be shut down for temporary.
Mm-hmm.
I think somewhat yes, but it's not going to have an impact on most people.
I wonder if some of these people are trying to manifest it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Like,
just to prove that they're right about something or credible or weird.
again, I don't feel that particularly is targeted towards all electronics, but a select few institutions.
Mm.
Like I said, I don't feel like it's targeted to be felt by the masses, but it's kind of cloaked in that kind of language. It's targeting specific computers,
Well,
institutions,
this
AI.
yeah, the story is we'll have our blackness, our darkness, and then all these people are going to get arrested. That's
No.
no, no, it's weird.
Again, I feel like it's targeted towards certain individuals and certain institutions.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. The manifestation is not there to affect most people. It's just kind of put it out there as an idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like have you heard the practice of like when you're what's the word, bartering? You ask for something that you ask above or below what you want, and it'll go to the middle to what you want.
Mm-hmm.
At when you're bartering, it's kind of like that. You're kind of going to the extreme to get what you want in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what it feels like to me. It feels like it's kind of like putting ideas out there, not expecting to manifest all of it, to manifest certain impacts on certain institutions and individuals.
Yeah, certain timelines. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's mostly like a bluff. It feels like.
Interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it has when they say things like that. Sometimes it's code words or code for something else.
Yeah,
Like JFK Jr. is people say is back, but it might be just a code word. So
exactly. Yeah,
So
it's targeted. There's lots of levels to it. It's targeting.
Yeah. So,
Um,
yeah, there's anything else on that? I mean, there's not much to really dive into it.
the only thing I can think of, another reason why they want to put that out there, even if they're not necessarily wanting that effect to happen, is because the people feed into it their fear and their expectations. I
Yeah,
guess it's kind of ballsy because if you think about the theory, in theory, this could manifest. But I guess there's a certain individual that feels like they can direct energy to um, to do what they would like it. It's directing energy that focused on it. Because energy and attention is, it's the most, it's a powerful it's what powers magic. Um, it's what powers manifestation.
yeah, exactly. They're I don't know. Sometimes it's wishful thinking in some areas.
Hmm. Well, I'm sure there are some people that want to have electronics go down. For one reason or another, there's people that kind of worry about how people are becoming too addicted to electronics, which is probably true, but
Mm-hmm. Well, we got enough problems as it is.
yeah,
Everything's kind of shot. You're lucky that even grocery stores are still open. We see we have that
exactly,
going.
yeah, yeah. That's what we're kind of hiding food around here so that people don't break in and steal it. That's a bit extreme. I'm not doing it. Another is, but still, that tells you
Yeah,
at least how paranoid some people are.
yeah. What
Like
about
in Michigan's getting heavy hit right now.
it's true. Yep, and yeah, we're not too far from behind that.
Yeah,
Seems. What about 5G?
5G. Again, I don't see it particularly dangerous, at least not in the health sense. At least not for most people. Most healthy individuals. There may be a few people who are sensitive to it. Particularly people who are, I think, like amphibians. People who are kind of amphibious or had amphibious past lives recently. Feels like it could affect, but at least people who are very sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, but I don't see it affecting most humans or most people.
What about the virus? Do you think it's affecting it in some ways for some people?
5G virus, what?
Yeah, they say the 5G is affecting the virus.
Uh, um, I'm saying something, but I'm trying to figure out what it is. Hold on, sorry. I'm going to say not to the extreme degree. In some ways, it's kind of keeping it under. If 5G, what I'm seeing, it's setting a vibration.
Mm-hmm.
5G itself is a tool to set the vibration. So yes, it may have a very subtle effect on the virus and on people, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not going to cause cancer.
Well, yeah, it's
If anything, it's actually the 5G energy feels like it's keeping the virus from mutating too much
interesting. Well,
because it's setting a vibration. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah. Well, it's like Wuhan, China is where the outbreak happened, and that's where 5G is activated
Is that where with
into
Huawei?
there.
Is that?
Huawei, whatever the hell you call it. Yeah, Huawei, whatever. Yeah, yeah. So, and on the cruise ships too, that was another theory,
Hmm.
which is who knows about the cruise ships.
Um. Hold on a moment.
Yeah.
Look, again, what it feels like to me is 5G in an attempt at some kind of like controlling the shift.
Mm-hmm.
5G is intended to make things connected to connect the world, so to speak. It's sort of that the establishment, when they're making this 5G and putting it out, they're fighting for some kind of control. Although it's actually a false sense of control, but they're still fighting for a sense of control, which 5G kind of is a tool.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever controls the 5G networks can kind of have an input they feel on a shift on the way that humanity is going. Because 5G is going to connect the world, or at least they want to try to connect the world with it, making communication online faster and faster, and there's exchange of data. So I think you have to look at the whole idea of 5G so you can actually talk about what it does, or why it's here, or what the virus is to say. So looking at that, you can see why China would want uh, 5G with Huawei, and you think of why the United States would want to tamper down on China's efforts.
Hmm. I don't
Because,
think it's. Yeah, go
what's
ahead.
that?
I don't think it's activated that much in the United States or activated at all.
No. The
Yeah.
United States is kind of the rebel in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of the establishment here, I should say, is kind of the rebel in a sense because they're not going. They know they're still kind of having their own power. They're used to being the bully, so they know things that they know the shit is coming, but they're kind of pushing back on it. They're pushing back on social change, um, on their government change. They're pushing back on things that had already been accepted by the world at large, for the most part. Um, so, for example, looking at Huawei specifically, there's countries in Europe that want to use Huawei because they don't see it as much as a threat that the United States does.
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. sees it as a threat for just other reasons, but that only applies to the U.S. dominance. Um, China wants its prestige and control, but it's not as heavy-handed as the U.S. in some ways. In some ways, it is, but their measure of control is quite different. Um, but the U.S. it's a lot more sloppy and negligent, whereas China is more controlled and directed.
Yeah.
Uh, the U.S. is you can't really compare the two. They're very abusive systems in different ways, but they both have the ups and downs, mostly downs. That I will say. Of course, China and the U.S. are mostly rivals at this point. Um,
Mm-hmm.
one moment. So you gotta pay attention to 5G is used to connect the world, and they kind of and people who control 5G, they feel like they can have some sort of input on the shift. They can have input on people. They can kind of monitor large amounts of data with 5G, of course. They can also send. It's another kind of grid.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Archon grid, but it's different sets of grids. So whoever controls the 5G grid has some sort of control in the world, except um, it's kind of one of the stages of kind of getting control back to people, back to humanity.
Mm-hmm.
It's not direct control, but it's the Archon sort of handing the reins over to humanity bit by bit. And 5G is just one way of it.
Mm-hmm.
The virus is here mostly to again it does kind of feed into the shift to kind of connect people together online. They're interacting with more data online. There's more bandwidth going around. So there's going to be more demand for things like 5G, of course. But also, if you're spending time inside with your families, you're going to be forced to kind of grow up with them in a sense. You can't get away with people that they want to get away from. You're spending a lot more time getting comfortable with your family. If you have problems with them, you gotta kind of live with it or try to resolve it. So it's kind
Mhm.
of the maturing stage. That's what I think that's what it seems like the whole transformation is about is connectivity. It's making people more connected. The more we're connected to others, the more we evolve as a species. But we're also connecting with ourselves as well. So it's just kind of a maturation stage. Coronavirus is forcing people to kind of slow down and take the time to mature, to evolve, to kind of sit with their own issues. Um, but it's also creating demand for faster communication, more data, more internet data. So yeah, they're both kind of. 5G is mostly a slow process. It's one step in the slow process of handing the great over to humanity.
Mhm.
Um, anything else you want to ask about 5G?
No, no, we don't have to keep.
Hmm.
But this doctor, I don't know how to pronounce his
Oh yeah,
name.
Doctor
Anthony was it Foss? I don't know. Fossey?
Athossi, yeah.
Fossey or whatever. Dr. Doom. He's with the World Health. He's talking about how many people are going to die. He's kind of like the Grim Reaper.
I don't see him always as I don't see him as either good or bad. I see him as kind of a fanatic energy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, his morality is not black or white. It's kind of a orange blue kind of thing.
Hmm.
Um, they've heard of that term, orange blue morality. So I see him in Astral. He actually kind of worked on this virus in Astral.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of oversees different kind of viruses, different not just diseases, but viruses and bacteria and stuff like that in the Astral. He kind of helped create some. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he kind of created coronavirus in a sense,
Huh.
but he's
Yeah.
also kind of
Well.
overseeing, judging, and just kind of seeing how viruses um, work and spread. So he's kind of controlling it. He's not controlling it. He's kind of creating them or helping to create them. Um, I feel like you can kind of judge viruses that they should become if they're healthy or not. A healthy virus or viable, or if they're too extreme. So he's kind of. I just see him kind of working in a lab, um, looking and observing different viruses and possibly creating some.
Huh. Yeah. Well, they're already predicting how many people are going to die of this thing. There's a lot of that going around.
Yeah, like I said, I feel that there's a phonetic energy around that too. That not around death to say that the viruses.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's a very fixation. He's very fixated on them
Mm-hmm.
because he's kind of seen it before in several lifetimes. He's seen viruses kind of get out of control and kill and kill and kill. Um, Again, it's just sort of a knowledge. It's intuitive to him, seen it all before.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's a fixation of this astral self in a sense of unseen. And it's not really easily misunderstood because yes, he works with things that could kill, but his energy is actually more neutral. It's just kind of fanatic.
Huh. Well, is there anything else on that? Uh,
I don't see him connected to Doctor Doom per se.
mm-hmm.
Um, I see him connected like like a AI or robot being, but
Okay.
not Doctor Doom as a not even in the same universe per se. But
What
I think
about
he may have known Doctor Doom at some point, but
Well, I mean, just that they're like a Grim Reaper telling everyone how many people are gonna die and stuff. That's kind of doomsday. 100,000 people, 200,000 people.
that just comes from a more of a fanatic energy more still than that Glenn Third type energy.
Okay.
That's just what I'm feeling. It's just a fanatic kind of thing. It's like, oh, I've seen this before. I can calculate this because I've seen this, how many several thousand times over their lifetimes. It's that kind of thing going on. It's kind of like, oh yeah, it's more it's more than matter of fact kind of thing to him.
Um.
To some degree, it just doesn't have the same weight because it's just very detached and fanatic matter of fact kind of. Any other questions about him?
What about the World Health Organization? What do you feel from them?
Let's see. Um, I actually see him working with the World Health Organization for a long time in Astral as well. Like he kind of had a hand. He's not one of the main contributors. I feel like he did have a hand in inspiring its creation.
Mm-hmm.
His actual self is around before then, but he kind of watched that it was created. He's still detached from it, um, in the Astral. But
I'm talking about just the organization itself. So you're
oh
talking
yeah,
about not him anymore, just the
I know.
organization.
Yeah. What do I see that? Let's see. If you look at the logo, you can kind of see again it has the lines latitude and longitude. They're on the web, so it's monitoring. But it's also kind of controlling. Hold on, I'm getting blocked from this. Hold on.
Yeah, I imagine so. There's a lot of AI energies in World Health.
They don't control viruses, but they do kind of allow some to come through. They kind of lock off regions. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there's lots of AI energy there. Actually, there's at least a small sector of AI beings actually designated to blocking off uh, Chandler himself. Actually, I've been seeing it's at least like 4 to 8 of them. There.
Yeah, that's what I see as like a giant mother computer, mothership computer called the World Health Organization.
Yeah, yeah, I would say that's true.
And same
Um,
with the CDC also.
mm, mm, mm.
They're not as big.
The CDC sounds a bit more human to me, but
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
the World Health Organization, yeah, very AI heavy.
Yeah.
It's not again. It's a lot more than neutral energy. It's not the like I said. I see him connected to the World Health Organization. That Anthony Fauci. Again, it's more of a neutral relation. They don't
Mm-hmm.
really. They don't try to end viruses, so to speak, but they try to contain them.
Mm-hmm.
Contain, observe, I should say. It's just learning and getting as much data as it can. Even if it means
Mm-hmm.
even if it means some people die, it's just getting data. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that's what it's all about. It's like gathering as much data on the web. You know, it's part of the Archon web. So
Yeah, that's it. Well, like the CDC, I feel like both the organizations they do cover up
oh yeah,
a lot of stuff.
the CDC itself is more human. It feels like it's more of the Illuminati.
Yeah.
Not exactly, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, the CDC does still a lot more of the establishment. It's still more human, or at least um,
Mm-hmm.
more of a biological consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, I mean, actually,
Yeah, because there's probably several viruses out there that they're aware of that can wipe out humanity. they're,
mm,
they're probably well aware of it. At least the World Health Organization is. They can do far
yeah,
worse than what
yeah,
this
yeah.
thing's doing.
Yes, there are. I see a lot of the World Health Organization. I see a lot of AI energy, particularly being in colder climates,
Mm-hmm.
like northern Yukon territory, far north Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes some parts of Norway that Canada seems like popular. Canada, Greenland seem like popular places. Um, Antarctica, in some degree, yeah. But
They just operate better in cold weathers. Cold.
yeah, and it's also more hidden.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the CDC itself does seem a bit more close to home. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it does feel like it's in the eastern side of the United States, centered around. It feels like a popular government organization. So I would say it is more human in some aspects. Yes. Um,
Oh, when this all when this all started to break out in the U.S., I felt Trump was told to stand down, stand back. Kind of let this thing do its what it needs to do, and then move in. I don't know if you feel anything on that.
um, um, yes, in a way, I do feel like he was instructed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Let it do what it needs to do. I feel that is correct. Yes.
They're not saying.
Particularly, yeah,
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
particularly because if you're kind of segmenting and biting it, it's gonna make it last longer.
Hmm. So what?
The faster it burns, the faster it'll burn out. But if you're gonna try to flatten the curve, um, it's one way to prolonging it. Actually,
So kind of letting it like let a weed grow and just let it do its thing, and then once it's grown out, then you cut it.
yeah.
Something like that. It's easier to cut when it's grown out. Something like that.
The one reason the government would not ever do that, well, because for one, it has limited resources. You don't have all these hospitals that can take care of,
Yeah.
in either both cases.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it makes it so that the government seems like it's needed. So
Yeah.
it kind of enforces the government is still grounded, and it's gonna because the shift could go very badly for world governments, of course, if they're not trying to control it. Um, they could, people are more and more mistrustful of the establishment.
Mm-hmm.
And there's people who are more libertarian these days. Um, so yes, I would say that the hardest flatten the curve is just to it's intervening for the sake it's intervening for the sake of intervention, but also um, yes, there's limited resources at any time.
Yeah.
So
Makes
the government
sense.
is just wanting to show off. That's all.
Yeah.
All they have
Yeah.
to do is show off. When they have to show off, and they know it. So yeah.
Yeah. And the governor of, was it New York? I don't know. Those guys are seem so slimy. Even the mayor of New York's kind of,
Who is that? Is that Cuomo?
yeah. That's the governor. It's just, yeah, they act like they care, but I don't think they really care. I mean, of course, it's interfering with their business. They care, but typical government. I mean, governors are kind of like gods in some ways, like god of the state for a limited time. Mayors are like that too. You have like demigod type of powers. So,
Yeah. From what I see, actually, Cuomo only has power within a certain region of New York.
mm-hmm.
Although, yeah, he does have, the law does have some powers of the whole state. I see, like, outstate areas, the further west and north
Mm-hmm.
sections,
Mm-hmm.
they're kind of left to their own devices.
Yeah.
It's what I feel like. Because the power cluster itself is within New York and its major metropolitan area, the metropolitan areas and connections. So what I see,
But the governor of California, I feel he's Illuminati from top to bottom.
who's that name?
I don't know. You just look up.
I think Movies.
Just look up California. Yeah, it's the guy with the hair.
Gavin Newsom.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do get some Scientology from him, but
kind of gangster energy.
a little bit, yes. Um,
Yeah, he feels so
he
slimy.
does, he does look kind of creepy.
Yeah, his whole persona is just. Yeah, you can like watch all these people burn and just smile. Think I don't give a shit. God, it's like a sociopath.
He is actually. That's what I'm doing too.
Yeah, he's a freaking governor.
He knows how to speak and try to
Mm-hmm.
look good, but it still doesn't come across the way he wants it to. But I see a lot of ego with him. He's kind of wanting to see the world burn.
Yeah, another godlike complex. Yep.
God complex, yeah. And not really doing any true agenda. It's just a God complex. He is the agenda.
Yeah. God, is there some darkness there?
Definitely, yeah.
And people are blind as hell to it. Well, people are similar to him. Love it.
Mm-hmm. One moment. I feel like one of the reasons why he's in power is he is even though he has a god complex, he feels like he's dependable in a
Mhm.
sense.
Mhm.
That's kind of one of the reasons he's in there. That's one of the things to look at in Thor. That kind of sorry, dependability. Um, but I just see a lot of like black tar around him. Really,
Yep.
like a black tar being then or something.
You can't hide from everybody.
Yeah, he's used to being kind of like in the shadows. Yeah, he's kind of like a shadow being in a sense. He's kind of a wild card. Uh, I don't see
Mhm.
Archon. I just see like a shadow dimension or like a black blue dimension.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. What else? Do you want to move on to the topic?
Oh no, that's it. I don't know if you have
What is
anything
it?
else. That's it.
Okay. I did do a talk about Venus, right? So
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
yeah, yeah. I'm feeling a little bit of Venus energy. Just I'll see if there's anything to be said around there. Okay, one moment.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm feeling Venus is actually taking a fairly significant part in the healing process. It's sort of people can kind of look up to her or are looking up to her right now. If you're watching the sky, um, you can kind of connect to her for healing at this time.
Mhm.
It actually, what is this? Let me look something up. Okay, season of Taurus. A moment, sorry.
Yeah.
It's exactly the Taurus season is coming up soon. That's when it's likely to come into the next phase of the coronavirus. Um, this quarantine, kind of slightly before the age of Taurus, and that's who she was over. Is that the sign of Taurus and Libra. But Taurus typically is coming out in the next month in April, late April. And that's a good time that she's going to have a strong impact on our shift. The energy of Taurus coming into the shift. Um, and again, I think it's the springtime coming and the Taurus energy coming in. It's going to be pushing a lot of the engine. Uh, she's pushing this engine to ascension and connection. Because she kind of rules the heart center. Um, she's connected to the heart center energy.
Mhm. Hmm.
Um, so again, it's just opening people to the shift and it's blossoming and it's a lot of strong Venus energy coming in the next, I'd say, few months. April, May. But actually, yeah, it's connecting to Venus. Uh, actually, I see the rain having an effect too. Like the rain's coming in, cleansing too. The potential floods. Most not a lot of floods, a lot more rain than usual. That's kind of gonna be cleansing things away.
Mhm.
So Venus actually has a large part to play with our not just ascension but also healing process in this virus. But that's all. Okay.
Yeah, the weather plays a big part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as we go through this, the weather is pretty decent. Not all areas, but quite a few.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Um, I feel like it's from the raining part of it.
you know,
Like the April shower during the April hours, of course. But there's some sort of significance with the rain this time around. It's healing.
No.
So again, it's taking time to come up to spring. That'll come healing faster. Stunning kind of nature. It's kind of oddly advice, but again,
Okay.
it'll help the virus healing, and it'll help the heart kind of open up too. So that'll be necessary for the change coming through.
Okay.
Heart center stuff. Yeah.
All right. Okay, I'll wrap her up.
Yes. Sorry.
Let me see if there's anything that you're
Yeah.
connected to. Just see, yeah, you're connected to mothership energies right now. The New York mothership. I feel there's others connected to it. They're not showing what they are. By building this reality. So obviously, there's reality on top of reality.
Mm-hmm.
It's all but I feel like you're part of like a computerized version of it. Like when they say our reality is computerized, where that does exist and separate reality. I think you're in one of those because there's something there that can answer questions here. Why you get a channel message for a certain reason, or
Yeah.
there's answers in other realities for us here.
Exactly.
And it's just not always easy to get. We're not always ready for it, etc., etc. So, I mean, that's what a lot of the aliens are doing. They're going to different realities, exploring, learning, whatever it is that or they get caught into it. They get caught in the matrix of that world.
Right.
Whatever. I mean, some do, not all of them, but quite a few of them roam around. We go around. We travel to China or Egypt, and they just travel to other realities. So,
Mm-hmm.
so anyway. So yeah, that's one of your jobs too. But you do it in a way where nobody knows that you're doing it. Talk about traveling alone. It's like you go in secret, but it's kind of like an Indiana Jones thing. You're looking for something, but you don't want to be seen. You might appear to some people that might already know you somewhere.
Yeah.
One of these realities, but then you kind of disappear. Make a good movie actually, or a TV show. Something like that. Because they gave me an image of Indiana Jones. So yeah, because we're looking. But like in like the first Indiana Jones, he goes to was it Delhi, and he meets a friend of his there. If you haven't seen it in a long time, but knows about the Ark or knows about certain areas,
Yeah.
whatever. That's what you go meet up people that know about what you're looking for, whatever that might be.
I feel like I'm investigating a lot of energy systems as well, but also potential realities.
Yeah, there's that too. There's also a matrix cube,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which is kind of interesting. I just saw that.
Like a Borg cube.
Yeah, but it's small. It's like it's not small, but it's like a bowling ball size.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's different. And it has a little piece. Yeah, it's not like a Rubik's cube, but it's not all. It has.
There's many different overlapping.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Borg cube, you can say, sort of. It's kind of not perfect. Let's put it that way.
Right.
So it's got jagged edges and whatever it might be. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. A matrix cube.
Hmm.
I mean, of course, they call it something else, but
Right.
I have no idea of that function. I don't know. It's like you say, potential realities, ones that are gonna be slowly be created. Exactly. I don't know. It's the cube feels like it's something that you put information in
Mm-hmm.
to get. It's like your computer or something.
Right.
Something like that. I don't know. I'll leave
Interesting.
you with that. That went on and on. Well, as we open up more, we get more, bizarre.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, all right, okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Blessings.
blessings. All right, take care. All right, night, everyone.